This is part 4 of my lecture series on recording business transactions of a service business. There is a separate video series on journalizing transactions of a merchandiser. Before we proceed to the next transaction of Marty Medical Clinic, to emphasize again the necessity of memorizing by heart the normal balance of each account, let me test you once more. What is the normal balance or increased side of capital? Credit. How about the increased side of expense? Debit. How about asset? Debit also. Liability. Credit. Normal balance of drawing. Debit. By the way, drawing is also known as withdrawal or even personal. What is the normal balance of revenue or income? Credit. I hope you got all of these 6 accounts correctly. If not, please watch part 1 of this video series where I gave hints on how you can very easily recall the normal balance of each of these account classifications. Kindly be reminded that memorizing the normal balance is an essential first step to succeed in journalizing transactions. I have seen many students use the correct accounts and compute the correct amounts when preparing journal entries. But sad to say, instead of debiting a certain account, they credit it. Instead of crediting another account, they debit it. What is their problem? They have not memorized and applied this so-called normal balance or increased side. So please, know by heart and apply this normal balance thing when recording transactions. And again, these are the list of account names we need to use for Marty Medical Clinic. We cannot invent or create our own account titles. Cash, accounts receivable, medical supplies, equipment, and furniture and fixtures are all assets. Remember that an asset is anything of value owned by a business. Accounts payable and notes payable are liabilities or economic obligations or payables owed by a business. Then we have Marty Drawing, followed by Marty Capital, which is also known as net assets or net worth or equity. Although strictly speaking, drawing or withdrawal or personal is considered part of equity. More about that in part 5 of this lecture series. Then we have the revenue accounts, medical fee revenue, and surgical fee revenue. Lastly, we have the expense accounts of rent expense, salaries expense, medical supplies expense, and utilities expense. With that, let's move forward to the following transaction of Marty Medical Clinic. Sent a bill to Banco de Oro for the annual check-up of each employees, 80,000 pesos. Remember what I kept on telling you before? You must always keep in mind from whose perspective you are recording the transactions. Otherwise, you will be committing a lot of mistakes. We are on the viewpoint of Marty Medical Clinic, not of Banco de Oro. The transaction states, sent a bill to Banco de Oro. Since we are on the point of view of Marty Medical Clinic, the important question here is, did Marty Medical Clinic send the bill or receive the bill? Sent the bill. Marty Medical Clinic sent the bill to Banco de Oro. The clinic sent the bill while Banco de Oro received the bill. Now, what does it mean when you sent a bill and when you received a bill. Let's say you received an electricity bill from Meralco. What does that mean? It means that Meralco is trying to collect money from you. Meralco is asking you to pay. In other words, when you receive a bill, you are being asked to pay, which means that you have a liability, an accounts payable. Meralco, the one which sent the bill to you, is trying to collect money from you because it has an accounts receivable from you. So please remember this. When you sent a bill, you have an accounts receivable. When you received a bill, you have an accounts payable. Going back to this transaction, since we are on the perspective of Marty Medical Clinic and the clinic sent the bill, we must increase the accounts receivable of the business. But how do we increase accounts receivable? Again, normal balance. Accounts receivable is an asset. Since the normal balance or increased side of an asset is debit, then we have to debit accounts receivable for this July 11 transaction. The next question now is, what must be the credit? It says here, send a bill to Banco de Oro for the annual check-up of its employees, 80,000 pesos. Marty Medical Clinic sent a bill to Banco de Oro because it performed or rendered service. It conducted annual check-up of the bank's employees. And recall what you learned in part 3. When you render service, you increase your revenue. And how do we increase revenue? Normal balance of revenue, credit. But again, recall that the business has two revenue accounts, medical fee revenue and surgical fee revenue. Which one is appropriate for the annual checkup of the bank's employees? Medical fee revenue, because no surgery or operation is performed in a checkup. So credit medical fee revenue for 80,000 pesos. The same amount we need to debit for the accounts receivable. Then, explanation. To record rendition of service on account. By the way, notice the page number of our general journal here. Page number 2. This is on the assumption that we are already on the second page of the journal, starting with this July 11 transaction. For the previous transactions, we used page 1. July 13 now. Hired a secretary for a monthly salary of 40,000 pesos who will start work on the 16th. What should be the journal entry for this? Another very important concept to keep in mind. For a transaction to be recorded, there must be an exchange of values in terms of money. In other words, there must be value received and value parted with. Something must be received, something must be given up, which is quantifiable in monetary terms. Now, let's read this July 13 transaction once more. Hired a secretary for a monthly salary of 40,000 pesos who will start work on the 16th. What did the business receive on July 13? Nothing. The secretary has just been hired or accepted for the position, but she has not rendered any work or service yet. So the clinic has not received any service on July 13. What did the business give up or part with? Nothing also. Did the transaction state that the clinic already paid the secretary? No. So nothing was given up by the business yet. Nothing was received, nothing was given up. Therefore, there is no journal entry for this transaction. For classroom purposes, you may write the date and the words "no entry." Or you may just skip this transaction, meaning you may choose not to write anything on the journal for this transaction, not even the date. You may just proceed to the next transaction. July 16. Paid furniture expert 40,000 pesos and issued a promissory note for the balance. Just from the word paid, we must know what happened. Cash decreased, right? Very easy, isn't it? When you pay for something, your cash decreases. Here, the clinic paid furniture expert. Therefore, its cash decreased. To record the decrease in cash, must we debit or credit the cash account? Remember, cash is an asset. The normal balance or increased side of asset is debit. So, to decrease cash, we have to do the opposite of debit, meaning we must credit it. By how much? 40,000. Because it says here, paid furniture expert, 40,000 pesos. By the way, furniture expert here with capital F and capital E is obviously the name of the business to whom the clinic paid 40,000 pesos. Let's continue reading the transaction. And issued a promissory note for the balance. Now, please recall what you learned in part 2 of this video series. When a promissory note is issued, there is what we call a note payable on the part of the issuer. Because in the note or letter, the issuer or the one giving the note is promising to pay. That means he is admitting that he has a liability, a payable. And since he put in writing, in a letter or in a note, that he is promising to pay, then his liability is called note payable. In this transaction, the clinic issued a promissory note. Therefore, it must record an increase in its liability account, notes payable. Recall that the normal balance or increased side of liability is credit. So we must credit notes payable to record the increase. Notes with S, because again, we have to use the exact account title as given in the problem. At this point, it will do you good to know that if the issuer of the promissory note has a note payable, then the receiver of the note has a note receivable. Let's continue with our journal entry. How much must be the credit to notes payable? It reads here, and issued a promissory note for the balance. What is the balance being referred to here? A related question must be asked. Why did Marty Medical Clinic pay and issue a promissory note to furniture expert? Did the clinic purchase furniture from furniture expert on this date, July 16? No. This transaction on July 16 does not say purchased from furniture expert. So why then did the clinic pay and issue a promissory note to furniture expert on this date, July 16. Because recall that Marty Medical Clinic had a previous transaction with Furniture Expert. And that was on July 4, when the clinic purchased tables, chairs, and cabinet on account, costing 60,000 pesos. That is why on that date, July 4, we credited accounts payable for 60,000 and debited furniture and fixtures for the same amount on the books of Marty Medical Clinic. Therefore, the balance being referred to here, which is the face value of the promissory note issued, is the balance or the difference between this 60,000 pesos accounts payable on July 4 and this cash paid on July 16, amounting to 40,000 pesos. So 60,000 minus 40,000 equals 20,000, which must be the amount of the credit to notes payable. The next question now is, what account must be debited here? As already discussed, Marty Medical Clinic did not purchase tables, chairs, and cabinet from Furniture Expert on this date, July 16. That's why there is no reason for us to debit furniture and fixtures here. The purchase occurred on July 4, and hence the debit to furniture and fixtures was made on that date, July 4, with a corresponding credit to accounts payable for 60,000 because the purchase was on account. 12 days later, on July 16, the clinic paid this accounts payable in cash of 40,000 pesos and issued a promissory note for the balance of 20,000 pesos. Upon that payment of cash and issuance of the note, what do you think happened to this accounts payable? It is already eliminated. It decreased by 60,000 pesos, which is the amount equal to the sum of the 40,000 cash and the 20,000 notes payable. And so, to decrease these accounts payable, what must be done upon payment and issuance of the note on July 16? We have to debit it for 60,000 because accounts payable, being a liability, has a normal balance or increased side of credit. And so, to decrease it, it must be debited. And please take note again, the total debit must always be equal to the total credit. For the explanation, describe the purpose of this journal entry: to record payment of account and issuance of note.